Hi guys, welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. Today, this is the first episode of Totem News, something new Jack and I are trying. So yeah, as always, I'm joined by Jack.
Buongiorno.
And today, what we're going to do is we're shaking it up a little bit. Instead of talking about specific games, we're just going to do a quick, news round about stuff that's upcoming, really. So yeah, it feels great to be back. So I just have to start by saying we haven't really uploaded in over a month, and I guess I should explain why. Simply IT issues. So when Jack and I started this project, it was very off the bat of me getting a new job. And I wanted to build a PC in order to create this. But unfortunately, we know how PCs are. You can get faulty parts. You can get refunds that take forever to process, email battles. And I was supposed to be up and running by Christmas, but the whole thing's taken over a month. I finally got there. I think my PC is working. I'm on my third day with it. Fingers crossed. I edited a video yesterday and it went quite well. So, yeah, hopefully we're out the woods and the podcast can continue error free. I'm glad it happened earlier rather than later, but either way, yeah, it's good to be back. Because we've not really done anything for a month. So yeah, have you kept yourself busy in the past month, Jack, or have you been kind of lost about the podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing a few games. I mean, what I would say to add to that, it's solely been a case where you've not been able to edit videos right. Like we have got a backlog of things that will go into more towards the end of this video, so you can sort of get an idea of what games we have been playing, what you can look forward to.
Yeah, exactly that. So we have recorded a variety of videos, and just so you're aware, I currently have a new microphone as well, which will be in this video and videos going forward. The ones we've already recorded will still have my choppy audio, so I do apologize for the next handful of videos. The audio quality won't be quite the best the way it will be now. But yeah, hopefully that's something that you guys can look forward to. Improves quality. This is something that it's an ongoing process where we're trying to make it as nice as possible. So we're buying the bits. It's just obviously you get financial restrictions and time delays and IT issues. But hopefully we're rolling now. So yeah, we'll break straight into the news. I'll pass the talking points over to Jack. Did you want to start this one?
Yeah, and it's pretty big news really. So a major part of our channel so far has been the Dark Pictures series, and that's where our first bit of news comes from. So it's been found out that there have been 6 new titles released for the series on top of The Devil in Me. Now, any sort of eagle-eyed fans will know that originally this series was originally meant to be 8 games. So obviously, if you do your maths, there have been 2 more that have been confirmed, and we'll put these up on the screen now. So what do we have? We have Directive 8020. We have Intercession. We have The Craven Man, Odef, Winterfold, and Switchback. So looking at this picture, mate, is there anything that jumps out at you in terms of what spikes your interest here?
Definitely. Yeah, there's a few things. So some, are pretty vague, I would say. Winterfold and Switchback, in my opinion, I've got no opinion there. I really don't know what those games could entail. It could be all sorts of monsters or stories they could throw at us. One thing, I think we should start with here is Oh Death. So obviously, that is a song that has been used throughout Supermassive games. It was in Until Dawn. It's been in all the Dark Pictures intros in various different genres and forms. But yeah, Oh Death. Not only that, there's going to be a whole game about that, and there's a picture of what looks to be the curator next to it. We were talking in a past episode about how we wanted more of the curator's backstory. We wouldn't be satisfied if he just narrated, the way he is at this rate, especially in House of Ashes, where he had such a minor role. I see. Yeah, Jack. What are your thoughts on No Death? Is that the curator you're seeing next to him as well? And do you think that could be more about himself and his backstory?
I think it is, yeah, and obviously because of the song, like you say, it has such a strong association with the sort of like the credits of the game, and therefore the curator himself. If I had to make a prediction, I'd probably say that O Death is going to be the last game in the series, and I think that they will do what we intended, or what we hope that they will do, in the sense that they will explore the curator a lot more.
Yeah, definitely. I hope so. That is the dream, and I do agree. I reckon that one would be last. Uh, Craven Man, it could be a whole interesting thing. Maybe it's the story of like Vanity. Like, there's just so many possibilities you can have with that. Intercession and Directive 8020 have a lot more of a theme what it could be. They probably give us the strongest indicators. I'd love for Directive 8020 to be something around like Alien, with like Ripley and all that. That would be brilliant. And Intercession, obviously there's religious notes there. It could still be anything. That could be vampires, it could be evil priests. We really don't know. It could be demons. So yeah, it's very vague. I'm thinking less about the actual themes and the titles here, more so about what you said, the fact that we get 2 extra, titles than we do. I think that is the big news here. And yeah, to be honest, I remember you saying 8, and you would honestly think that based off of the fact that the Devil in Me said halfway through, or through the first half of season 1, or whatever it was. So it really leads you to think there's going to be 8 games, but the fact that we're going to have 10, I love these games. It's an added bonus. It's such a treat. So yeah, no, I'm over the moon with this news. I think it's terrific.
Yeah, and it shows that they're obviously doing well. I mean, I know there was sort of a little bit of backlash with the first 2 games. I think on the whole, House of Ashes has brought people back into the fold, but that sort of revenue wise, they're obviously doing very well. So I'm glad that they are adding to the series. It just makes me wonder whether they will default to what they originally said, which was they're going to bring 2 out a year, or whether they're going to continue with 1 a year. Because obviously, if that was the case, that means for the next, including this year, for the next sort of 7 years, we're going to be getting one of these games, which, sort of the gaming industry can change a lot in that time. And I wonder if people will still be interested in these games, where they're just sort of making choices and they're more like interactive dramas. But a couple of things to add on these titles. Mostly Directive 8020. I think that looks like a picture of the moon. Now, if I remember in the zero in the title, if I remember rightly, I'm pretty sure there's a newspaper that you pick up in Man of Medan or Little Hope. I think it's Man of Medan that does actually mention about a moon mission. So obviously, what we're like. We're sort of quite eagle-eyed with these things and like these little Easter eggs and clues. I think it's a pretty strong bet that maybe we're going to be on a moon base, and maybe we're playing as astronauts in Directive 8020.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very different theme, so I'd welcome that with open arms, to be honest. I'd love a space theme, you know, being set on the moon with maybe like a monster, or like your crewmates end up disappearing one by one. There's so many possibilities you could do with that. So, Jack, out of those titles, is there one that intrigues you the most? One that you feel like you might look forward to the most?
Um, I'd say for me, it's between O Death and Winterfold. By Winterfold. So if you remember at the very end of House of Ashes, you have the guys in the hazmat suits, and they're wandering around and they're just sort of talking about the characters that sort of were in the game, whether they got killed off or whether they're being interrogated for whatever reason. And one of them actually mentions a place called Winterfold, and obviously to sort of revert back to a previous episode where we was talking about, are they going to do some universe building where these games are going to be intrinsically linked to one another? This sort of confirms it. So I really like the sound of it, and I am actually intrigued as to what they do with that one in particular.
Yeah, definitely. No, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I've got not much to add on top of the Dark Pictures topic there. Are you happy to move on to the next one?
Yeah, absolutely. So the next bit of news being that Telltale are back. I think we knew that they were back, but they did issue like an update towards the end of 2021, confirming a new game called The Expanse, a Telltale series. Now, for me personally, I don't know much about The Expanse, the game, but also there is actually a TV series as well. And I suppose that does continue their tradition of taking these titles like Game of Thrones, like The Walking Dead, and putting their own spin on things in terms of like characters and different choices and stories, etc. But what I've got to say is that the it certainly looks a lot more polished, and I wonder what platforms that these games are going to be on, whether they're still going to be on the technically old gen like the PS4 and Xbox One, or whether they're going to be exclusive to the Xbox Series X and PS5. But it looks very crisp, and I think that's also to do with the fact that they're partnering with, is it Deck Nine Games, the people that did Little Life is Strange?
Yeah, they did Before the Storm. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so that's to look forward to. And on top of that, they've also confirmed The Wolf Among Us 2. So I know that you'll be looking forward to that, mate. Obviously, a
Definitely.
continuation of Big B and the whole sort of fairy tale, noir, dark themed game that was quite popular quite some years ago now. So yeah, that's definitely going to get a sequel.
Yeah, definitely. So to add to your points there, obviously, I am ecstatic Telltale are back. I saw the trailer for The Expanse, and like yourself, I'm not a massive Star Trek fan. Like I know bits. I've never watched The Expanse. I know people that will be buzzing for this game. But at the same time, like I've been pretty lucky with the fact that they've covered some of my favorite series and The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. They've covered Batman, and I really enjoyed Wolf Among Us. So, they hit these pretty big games, and it's just nice that they're covering more. And why not give Star Trek fans something else to explore? Um, yeah, on top of that, like you mentioned, the graphics, they look phenomenal. It's a step up from their last game. I'm not sure what that was, possibly one of the Borderlands or the Minecraft series, perhaps even Batman 2, actually. But yeah, I'm gonna welcome these games with open arms again, simply because I grew up playing them, and like the Walking Dead games were terrific. I do find it weird that they are back though, because it almost seemed like when they did become bankrupt or whatever it was, the way they dissolved, it seemed to end on such a bad note because the games company were going in a very odd direction in the sense that they were releasing games, too fast, too quickly, and the quality went dramatically downhill. So I hope that, they've learnt from their mistakes. I hope that there's a new leaf and, this is the start of something brilliant. And yeah, I just hope they don't fall into their old habits, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you also have a bit of news as well regarding Quantic Dream.
Yeah, definitely. So it's gonna make us look like absolute sci-fi nerds, mate. But if we're not talking about Star Trek, we're gonna talk about Star Wars now.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you haven't heard Quantic Dream, they're back, and it's very bizarre actually because usually they take concepts or and they build them from the ground up, or they take a concept and create original characters, in Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human. But they've adopted Star Wars, which is very interesting. Such a massive series with some diehard fans. And yeah, Quantic Dream, who make original content, have gone and they're making a Star Wars game. So yeah, there's very little to suggest what's gonna be in the game. The website will tell you that it's gonna be a narrative story with branching, stories again. So like their traditional games. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how that combines with Star Wars, to be honest. In terms of a release date, they haven't actually said any. There's no time window. one source suggests that it might be as late as 2024. So this could be something where we're going to talk about, and it's going to be in another 2 years. Their social media don't seem to be posting an awful lot about it. Simply the trailer, which, by the way, looks fantastic. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's a cinematic trailer, and I know cinematic trailers can say very little compared to the game. A lot of the time you want to actually see gameplay. We don't have any of that yet. But just from a 2-minute clip to look at, it looks stunning. The scenery, the graphics. Yeah, I'm really intrigued, and it definitely has caught my eye. But like I say, I can't help but admit that I'm also very anxious. This is Quantic Dream we're talking about. This is so weird for them to be doing Star Wars. So yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add or comment on with Quantic Dream's Star Wars Eclipse, Jack.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I do share your anxieties because it feels like a very much like a TellTale move, doesn't it? Taking such a well recognised franchise and putting their own spin on it. And I sort of refer to TellTale's Game of Thrones series. And you know how a lot of these games are like they're based on life or death, right? In terms of the choices. Obviously,
Yeah.
this is Star Wars. Are they going to create their own characters and then kill them off, or is it going to be possible to kill off well-known characters in the series? Like for me personally, I wouldn't really care either way. Like, I'm not a big Star Wars fan, but I remember when I played Telltale's The Game of Thrones, you sort of knew that Daenerys and some of the other characters, Tyrion, you knew that they weren't going to get killed in the game because they're still in the TV series. So is that going to sort of restrict them and sort of have both hands behind their back in a way? Because like some of the characters, like you might feel that they can't kill off, and hence that will then deter from the strength of the branching narratives, if you get what I mean. So it definitely seems like an odd one. I do share your view that it looks phenomenal, but then I wouldn't expect anything less from Quantic Dream. Like their record in producing games that are visually stunning, second to none. Um, but yeah, I'm certainly intrigued.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I want to cross my fingers and remain optimistic here. Although I do, yeah, like I say, I have voiced those anxieties. Because Quantic Dream haven't really pulled a foot wrong for me. There's like a few issues in the past where stories take weird turns and stuff. Fahrenheit had a weird ending that I kind of disagreed with. But otherwise, they're such a decent game developing company, and they've probably been on this for over 4 years now from when the last time they released a game, which was Detroit Become Human. And if they don't release this game till 2024, like one source suggested, that's going to be 6 years to craft this. Quantic Dream aren't known for rushing games; they really take their time. So yeah, I'm going to trust the process, and it's a game that I'm going to keep my eyes on. But yeah, hopefully, it's going to be a golden game. Yeah, so Jack, are we ready to finish this? We'll talk about our roadmap if you like for, where we're going to take, the series for at least the next month.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously, we have been gone for a while, but by no means have we not been working on the channel. Obviously, as we said before, we've still been recording videos and playing different games. So yeah, mate, do you want to sort of take it away and sort of go into what we've been doing?
Yeah, of course. So, in a nutshell, we've played about 4 games. We'll share two of them with you today. So, the next series that we're going to cover is going to be Alan Wake. So, this is a game that Jack put forward. We don't want to spoil too much because, we'll very much keep that in the game. But it's going to be a 3 or 4 parter where we talk about two of the episodes in one, basically, one podcast. So, yeah, Jack and I recently played those games and reacted freshly to them. And then afterwards, we're going to be playing a game that I put forward, and that is Last Stop. So, an Annapurna interactive game, very British, 3 different stories. It should be really interesting to cover that one. It's a game I played about a year ago, and yeah, there's going to be an episode for each chapter. and you get to see Jack freshly react to it and build his theories. It's quite a fun one to go through, you know, and like I say, in every one of these episodes, it'd be really interesting to see what you guys make of these games, and if you've played them already, if you agree with our opinions. And yeah, we've you know, played more games on top of that that will be released in due time, and yeah, we hope you look forward to them. Yeah, anything else to add there, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose in terms of what to expect moving forward, obviously we are fundamentally a choice-based game or slash movie, because we have been thinking about maybe doing interactive movies as well on the channel and sort of reviewing them. But we will, you know, rip up the rule book every now and then. We do like story-driven games. We do like, you know, other games besides this genre. So we will mix it up. So obviously, don't be surprised if we do that from time to time. But yeah, I suppose this video was just to sort of really give you a heads up of what's coming. A lot's coming your way. So yeah, stay tuned, really.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for joining, guys, and yeah, we hope you're glad we're back, and we hope you look forward to our content we've got coming up. Thank you very much.
See ya.